All right, so hi, just like Gail said, um, welcome to this foundations training. This is going to be about an hour session. We're just going to go over the very basic stuff in Canvas that we want to get you to be able to use, get your stuff up and running. It is not going to be a complete course that will teach you everything that you need to know about, every question that you have about Canvas. We have alternate trainings for that. Let me a second. We still have some people coming in. But I will be able to give you the links to those different trainings in case you have other questions. And I am willing to stay after the training to answer any individual questions you have that we may not get to today. So what the things that I want to make sure that we go over today is going to be how to upload a syllabus. We're going to look at the user interface and how to log into Canvas. We're going to look at how to add a little bit of content to an existing Canvas course. And you're going to be looking at a sample course that we created in Canvas. And does anyone have any questions about what an LMS is? Has anyone already kind of experienced with an LMS like CCLE? Okay, cool. We're not going to go into what an LMS is then for this course. So let me show you the Canvas dashboard. This is what you see the first time you log into Canvas. And if you have never logged in before, let me go through that process today right now with you. You're going to go to UCLA Brew and Learn. Let me log out first. And you should go to brewandlearn.ucla.edu. That is the link. Okay, and I'm going to use a account that we normally use right now. It's a test account for educators. I'm going to sign in. And if you have multi-factor authentication, this is where you would use your phone. And the first thing you see, like I said, is going to be your dashboard. So the dashboard is comprised of three major pieces. On the left side is the global navigation tab. This is going to have all the buttons that you will see all the time, no matter what course you're in. On the right, this is going to be your event list. These are going to be where you're going to see stuff like if you're a student, you're going to see stuff that you need to do for your courses. If you are an instructor and you have feedback or you have things ready to grade, they will show up as bullets, numbered bullets on the top. If they're an assignment that you need to take as a TA or as a student, you're going to see these little icons that tell you what kind of assignment it is. Oh, in the middle, you're going to see the published and unpublished courses. If you have migrated courses, they're going to show up under unpublished courses down here. You're also going to see a sandbox in your dashboard the first time you log in. That is a course we're giving to everybody so they can play around in Canvas and they can create content. They can even start here, make some quizzes, make some assignments, and import them into one of your courses when they're ready to go. So if you're wondering about creating stuff in your courses and you're worried about publishing stuff that students can see, or you're just not sure where to start working, this is the place to start, your sandbox. All right, if you do not see your courses here, either they have not been added yet, or they are in the all courses list under courses on this button here. So this button here will show you all of your courses when you click on the all course button. This is just a long list of everything that's been added, because by default, I think if you have way too many courses that have been added, it sort of shortens that list. If you want to manually shorten that list, you can do what I've done today is I've starred certain stuff. So I've taken off this Geology 101 course. I'm going to re-add that, and let me take off some other things. I don't need this Intro to Biology. I don't need this demo course. And then when I go back to my dashboard, I should have a lot. I should have, yeah, here's my geology course up here. Okay.
Chris, sorry to stop you for a moment, but I think Professor Pearlstein has a question.
Yeah, thank you. My question is, with CCLE, there was always a sort of a need for IT to create your course on the LMS. Is that still the case? Like, in other words, when you say you go to this list of courses and you see all the courses that have been placed on this site on Canvas, Is that all of our courses? Do we have to request to have our courses?
So if when I said migrated courses, if you had a course that was in CCLE, then they used a program called K16 to automatically migrate all of those courses into your existing environment. If you do not have a course that was already created and you're trying to find out how to get that started, what you will probably end up seeing, if you already have the course created, you have to ask for that course to be create a course shell in this environment for you, so that it's linked to the course that's registered, that's in the roster, or it's in the spring quarter, and they will create a shell for you that you can start making stuff in. But you don't have to wait for them to do that. You could start creating content in a sandbox, or if your department is giving you the option to create a new course, which I don't think, if you do have that option through your account, you'll see a create course button up here. This account doesn't have this. So you would probably have to contact them to create a course shell.
Okay. And I just put an email in the chat. You'll want to send an email if you aren't sure and your department's not sure and you can't find your course, send an email to bruinlearn-support and they'll be able to assist you.
Okay.
If you have some time after the training, do you want to like just talk and find out what course it is, and we can see we could take a look at your environment?
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And
no problem.
I'd like to add one more comment too in regards to what course sites are available, and to sort of clarify the courses that have been migrated from CCLE Moodle. They include the spring 2019 through spring 2021 courses that were taught in Moodle. So those should appear under unpublished courses. In addition to your migrated courses, what you will find is a sandbox, as we see here in the demo, which will essentially just say sandbox and probably your name or your initials. And the sandbox is, completely just blanket or test environment that you can use to experiment with the Canvas features that Chris and Michael will review today as well. And then third, the courses that will appear there are courses that you're teaching in winter that are automatically populated from the registrar or SIS system. Those will, as Chris mentioned, be empty course shells. And with that, that's where you would say you wanted to use content from your migrated courses. You would then have to import that content into that academic course shell. So to clarify, the 3 courses available in unpublished include the migrated courses, 2019, 2021 sandbox, as well as the registrar courses for winter 2021.
Okay, so I'm gonna, if you do have questions, I do see a couple hands over here. Can you please enter that into this list here? And I'll have Gayle and Michael be able to answer it. I'm gonna post this again here, and then we will take a little bit of time after. There's 2 sessions where part of the training where I'll stop and we'll take a look at these questions. So I'm gonna repost this document. And then also, Michael, can I ask for you to take the existing questions in the chat and put those into that document as well? Thank you very much. But these are great questions. Also, it sounds like we do have a little bit of extra questions on just the import process. I just want to point out there is a full training on those questions itself. So if you are interested in how your course is being migrated over from Moodle, or questions about these what you're seeing in your unpublished courses, I recommend you take this training here. There is tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's welcome to your migrated Google Moodle course. And okay, but yeah, I do understand that is probably one of the first questions you have is, hey, where is my course and how to get that up and start running. So I'm going to be, let me see. I want to go over a little bit on this user interface just so you know what you're looking at. So I showed you the course button here. All right. If you groups here is just how we don't really use groups that much. You probably won't use it that much either. This is going to be if you wanted to add groups of students, and I don't have anything to play with here because we don't actually have a roster for this account. Under calendar, this is a very useful tool. If you have a lot of different courses running at the same time, this will be able to color code those dates and due dates and other events that are happening So you can see here, as I start clicking on these boxes on the right, it starts enabling more in that calendar. You're used to using a calendar like this in something like Outlook or something, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. You should have some understanding of how to, start it and add dates and the like. Your inbox here, this is a very great way to contact your students and have your students contact you without sharing any personal details that you don't want out. So if you wanted to create a new email to a specific course, let's see, all you got to do is go to compose a new email. Let me zoom in a little bit because it's probably hard to see on your screen. Select the course. So in this case, I'm going to go to my music course. Favorite courses, here we go. Music appreciation. And if I can find anybody in my roster there, I think I have Michael in that. There it is. And I can just say, no class on Wednesday. Set an individual recipient. Don't come. The nice thing about this is that sends that email to their account. So they'll get on a student view, you're going to see the little badge here that says, hey, you have a message from Chris Martinez telling you about the class. It also will send an email to their existing UCLA email. So whatever they have on file. So this is a nice way to sort of hit them on both fronts to get their attention with anything you want to let them know. So we're recommending using Inbox for a lot of stuff. And of course, if you wanted, I forgot to show you, if you wanted to show that to the whole class, you could just go to, let's see, here we go, music, and I could just type in the whole course. I think I just go to the right, everyone, and that's your list. And that exists for every single class that you have. Okay, if you need just quick shortcuts to get back to where you were at, use history. This will just be for every single link that you've been at. This becomes very, very nice to use whenever you're jumping around like you're going to see me do today. Search is just the atomic search function used for the entire course. It'll look for stuff, especially like KB articles for help. Commons is a repository for getting stuff like templates, getting ideas for quizzes from other teachers that are not from UCLA and from UCLA. Let me see if it's having trouble starting up. It's weird, just a white page. Normally what you would see is just a kind of like a marketplace in card view that just lets you download different templates. Is anyone, Gayle or Michael, can you load this page and see if there's something up with Commons, and I could show your screen?
It looks like your pop-up is blocked in the in Chrome. So that does call out a good point.
Let me go Edge. Let me go to Edge.
Excellent. And while Chris is doing that, Canvas, you'll notice that a few tools will ask you to authenticate. For instance, if you do launch Commons, it will ask you to accept the terms of agreement or the policy, as well as the training services portal sort of buried in the help menu there. That's one thing to note. And as you do access it, though, that's where you would find, say templates or things that you might want to integrate into your courses.
Good eye on that, Gayle. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is the Commons area. It is outside the Canvas environment site. So, and what it does is just sort of links the two. If you want to find stuff specifically from UCLA, you can go over to the filter here, and you can go to the bottom and type in, just click this little box that says University of California, Los Angeles. And this will show you all the stuff that your fellow colleagues have created already in Canvas and are pushing out. One of the things that I'll just point out to you is that this template that you may see, which will add graphics to your existing imported course, it's going to be this template 1 standard. Let me find the right one. I think it's, here it is, by Catherine. So this minimal template, it's also the same one as the standard template here. These are the templates that are currently being used across all the courses when they're imported into Canvas. There is a great training as well on this template, why it was created this way, and how to take it off, how to add more stuff from it. I'm not going to get into how to add these things today. I just want to let you know, because we've had some instructors say, hey, when I brought over my course, I got this strange heading with these colors and everything in it, and I don't know where that came from. And that's this thing being applied on top of your course.
Real quick, Chris, Linda, the question you're asking if we'll be able to search by division and instructor name, are you referring to in Commons or just in general?
Or inbox?
Turn my mic on.
Sure.
So right now, when I log into Brew and Learn, I don't see much. In CCLE, you didn't have to have elevated rights to search for another department or by instructor name if you wanted to find, just again, to be of assistance to someone to find a geology site or an architecture site, that type of thing.
You should be able to search by, I think, that the name of the course or even the instructor, I would think, and it would show you, I mean, as long as they're published.
As long as they're published.
Yes. You would have to, I think, if you wanted to be able to see another instructor's course that was outside of your group, I believe you'd have to be invited to actually be added as a user to that course.
Gotcha.
All right, let me actually take this time to take a look at some of the questions we have here. Gayle, looks like you're answering some here. Let me find out where we started. Here we go. So will fall 21 courses be imported? Yeah, that's in the process there. How does one use Turnitin Canvas there? This is an LTI, it's a third party. It has been added into Canvas. I won't be going over today, but I'll show you that button where it's at when we add a feature to when we add something to Canvas. So I'll create an assignment and I'll show you where that button is.
Yeah, and then Andrew on this, Andrew asked this question. Andrew, I just mentioned that it might be more beneficial if you were to attend an office hour where you could get like some one-on-one help with an instructional designer who would actually be able to go into that in more detail. But like Chris said, he'll point out the button when we get to that.
Okay, I was able to link 2 or more courses together. Is that a feature in Brew and Learn? Is this the cross listing that we keep talking about?
Yes, and I do have something to report on that. Is that is definitely top of mind for our technical team, and they are merging. There are some courses that are manually merged, and there are some courses that are automatically merged. So again, the best sort of recipe we could suggest is having a look at the course, and if it's something that you expect to be merged, to definitely email our Brew and Learn support@it.ucla.edu team, and they can address it on a course by course basis. And I know this does bring to mind those in regards to also the fall 2021 courses. I know that it has been in process, but again, in regards to something that you do expect to see in regards to the migration and course listing, please email Brew and Learn, and they are able to address that on a case by case.
All right, so I'm posting that Google Doc one more time just in case, because I think I might have also sent you just the URL and not the share link. All right, thank you. These are great questions. And we also will be able to send any of these questions that we don't have the answers to the appropriate channels so they can get answered for you over time. So again, make use of this document if you have a question, even if we do address it and we bring it up, because I will try to bring it to I'll just address these questions in the training about one more time, and then I'll be able to stay afterwards and answer all of them. All right, so yeah, the Commons, I finished with doing the Commons button. Last thing I'm going to show you is the help button. This is where a really quick way to get to our resources site right here at the top. There's a lot of other support here that you can do to like create a ticket. You can get in touch with actual Canvas support, or you just go to our resources page up here. And if you haven't gone here, this is where I'm getting all of the extra trainings that I'm talking about. So on this last square under live training, you can find all these other ones. It's a shorter list than it normally is, only because we're getting ready for January. We're going to add an entire list of new trainings, some revamped trainings. I think we're going to change this existing training to be a little bit more concise with the topics, but you're going to see a lot more starting in January. So just keep in mind how to get to this page. Okay. All right, let's go back to my dashboard. And I'm going to jump into an app. I'm going into a class. I'm going to use the music appreciation class. and I'm just going to click into it. And now you see a new menu on the left. This is your course menu. It'll open up and stay here for everything that's in your course, except when you use like an LTI, or if you use something like Gradescope, it'll take up the whole screen. So everything here is something you're going to use for the course. You can change this listing. Some of these things are not going to show up when a student sees this page. Okay, so if you want to see quickly what a student sees when they log into this, you click on Student View in the top right. This will change the screen and give you this little magenta square over it and lets you know that you're in a student view. This is not a specific student, so this isn't like masquerading. This is just creating a, making a mock student and letting you log in, and you can do tests with it. And it sort of logs like this temporary student into your course. Okay, but it's not like masquerading. You won't be able to see what a specific student's grade is or something. In this mode, I mean. Okay, so you can see that as a student, I see a much more shortened list here of items. I only see a to-do list for this course, and I'm seeing what has been published for my course. So as a teacher, I could see more additional stuff in my modules, but if it's a student, I only see a couple of, I think I just see 3 weeks. If I'm a instructor, let me leave student view. I see a lot more. I have an extra one. So instead of just 3 weeks, I see this other stuff I'm working on that has been published week 4 and this other module rock and roll. So just letting you know about that student view link and how to use it. So when you first create a course or have a course, you have what's called a landing page or like a home page. That is the first thing that is shown to a student. It's just you can have this be an actual page that has like some content or has your syllabus on it. Or you can choose your homepage by clicking on this button and make this just the course module list. So this would just point them to this sort of bucket design structure called modules. And here, it's a very nice, easy way to sort of organize your structure. And it looks similar to what you had in Moodle, where you had these buckets of things you could do by week. If you have an imported course that has a template on top, it's going to automatically name these things to modules. Don't worry about that. You can change these to weeks. You can go to each one and change the name here and change this to, you know, week 3 or intro or starting week. A quick way to do all of these real quickly is to go to what's called the multi-tool, this little tool here on the left, and then go to your module builder. I wonder if this is blocking it again. 1 second, multi-tool. Not being kind to me today. I don't know what's happening with this. I thought it's just showing me a white screen. Make sure it's something, all the other stuff is going to work today. Everything else was working.
And just some background too, as Chris is navigating that, the multi-tool is sort of an advanced feature that will enable you to batch edit your assignments. And launching that, we do recommend office hours held by our academic team today. Actually, I can post those hours in a minute, but that will let you batch edit. And it's for those of you familiar with sort of instructional design tools, it's leveraging Syllabus, or Syllabus plus design tools to help with that. So you do notice that it's an external application in the manner that Turnitin is. So it will prompt, again, that external. That's why you're seeing that external access in the URL.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, it's just a way to like rename these real quickly. You click on this little link and then you see all your modules. Instead of having to click on edit each one, you get a list and you just type in the name, especially when you have like modules that are like 1 through 20 or something. It's a lot faster. That's what I was trying to point out. And that is the first time that's ever happened. It's just like blanking out. I'll have to make sure I make a ticket. I think about this. So modules, like I said, that's just an easy way to structure your stuff. What's nice about creating modules is that you can like make gaps or like gates in your course where students have to complete a certain amount of videos or read a certain amount of material before they get to the next bucket here, is what I like to call it. You could also break down each module into days or by weeks. Maybe this is going to be a month, and you can separate this by adding dividers and just letting me know, okay, we're going to be doing, for the first part, we're going to do, let me do a header text header, and we're going to do this as week 1. And if I drag this back up to the top, I can say, okay, so this will be week 1, and this would be like a month, and you can structure it just like that. So you don't need to create a bunch of different modules. You could do this the way that you want to organize your course. All right, so I'm going to remove this. Just a little bit about modules. I wanted to make sure that I showed you how to add an assignment. So how to add, oh no, wait, I don't think I went over the big thing, which was syllabi. So I'm going to go to, use my history to go back to that page I was at. So no, that's not the right history button. It was music appreciation. Okay, so like I said, this could be a link. This home page could be a link to your module list, or it could be a link to your syllabus page, which is one that's already added right here. Okay, so however you want to design this first splash page, that's up to you. Okay. If you want to add a syllabus here, you can add it as a link on this page, or you can add it in your syllabus page here, which is this little stuff that page has been created for you. Let me show you how you would add your existing syllabus if you don't already have it here that's been imported. So when you go to a page, which is what this is, just click on edit in the top right. That will open up 2 things. It's going to open up the rich text editor, which is this thing right here. This is where you could type in and add things. It will also add well, except for this page, because you don't need anything other than to see, you're going to see like a more options button or a zone down here. And so when you do an assignment, you do any other page, you do discussions, you're going to get those 2 things that pop up. So rich text editor and other options. In this case, it's just course summary. So I'm going to add a link here. Let's say course information, instructor. Let's put the syllabus here. I'm going to delete this for now. And then just to add a syllabus, all you're going to do is go up to the top here, and you could do it in a couple of different ways. You can go to documents, and if you have your syllabus on your computer, you can upload the document by clicking on this little like chevron here and clicking on upload document, and it'll give you this screen. You just go ahead and drop a, let me see if I can grab something here. Yeah, I'll use this. It's not an actual syllabus, but it'll suffice. And I just submit it, and it will create a link with that name. If you need to change this, go to link, click on the actual link, go to link options, and you can change the title up here. So. Another way to do it is just create a link to a Dropbox account or something like that. So if you have other links that you want to use, you can use an external link, or this is possible. If you're using a migrated course, it's possible your syllabi is already imported. It just doesn't have a place to show it. You can click on not course links. I want to go to files. Let me see here, course documents. There we go. If you go to course documents, then this will show you all the files that are in your course that have been added. So every single thing that's been added to my course, if I used it in a lesson or something, it will show up here. And what I've found with working with other instructors is that we tend to find the syllabus usually as the first document here. Okay. But again, if you have your syllabus on your computer or you're able to download it from Moodle, you can go ahead and use the upload document button there. Okay. Also, we recommend, though, that instead of just making a link to your course, we recommend typing out that information if you have the time to do that here. Let me explain why. So let me update the syllabus. And when you view this as a student, when you click on this link, it's going to create this previewer so that they can read it. The problem that you may come with this course, this is just a regular document I'm adding, is that this might not be readable by screen readers, so it may not be the most accessible way to show your syllabus. So let me leave the student view. So that's why we recommend using this page to actually type out your actual text that's on your syllabus. And that might be a lot of time. We're just saying that because it's going to be easier for students with disabilities to use this page to screen read, that's probably the best way of displaying your syllabus. Okay. Also, students can download this. So if they're saying, oh, I don't know how I have to go here all the time to view it, they just click on download button whenever they want, and they'll get their own copy of it. So that's the syllabus. That's one area that I know a lot of people are using as their main page. Again, you can choose homepage and have it point directly to the syllabus by clicking there. And that's this button here, the choose the homepage button. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to add some content to your existing course, and then I'll get to a couple more questions. I just want to make sure I get to this part. So you have several different ways you can add content to your course. You can go to modules, which is what I highly recommend you doing, and you can add content to one of your like buckets here, okay? And one way you can do that is by just clicking the little plus button, and you can add content. So I'm going to add plus, and you can add quizzes, files, pages, discussions. Let's say we just want to add a file. So if you just want to add like a article, you could just create a file. You could upload that file like an article or a PDF, and they can read it by just clicking on that. So again, let me just choose that same thing. I'll just show it's an image or something, add that. And it should be the bottom down here. It shows up as a little file icon. And when they click on it, they'll be able to see that image or be able to see that PDF and be able to read it. And you can keep adding more and more files down the line. If you're adding stuff like YouTube videos, you can do that too by just going up to add a file, add external URL, and you can just type in a YouTube link. So let me.
Chris, while you're doing that, Lori asked a question that was related to syllabus. She said, so even if my syllabus is already formatted in an accessible way in Word, it won't show up that way as a link. It should actually show up that way. As long as your document, be it a Word or PDF, is accessible and passes sort of the accessibility checkers within that app, it should display and be fine with the screen readers.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question, Lori.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just the degree of how well it can read it. That's all. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, if you want to add video links, you can add the links this way. If you want to add Kaltura stuff from your Zoom sessions, so if you're doing things like you're recording your lessons and you want to post them up on to your course up here, you'll have to create a page first and then host them. So these are quick links that are very easy. Kaltura is a tool that you are given inside of Canvas that you'll have to link to. So in order to do that, let me just show you how to add a page. So I'm going to click on plus. I'm just going to add a page. Just needs to create a new page. I'm just going to give it any page name. Okay, so just going to call it Ipsum. I'm going to go to that page now. And just think of a page like a frame for your content. That's all it is. I don't need to add anything to here. I can just start adding the video, or I can start maybe if I wanted to, I could do some description about what I want students to take away from this video. But the nice thing is that when you add a page, you get access to this rich content editor, and it's blank. I could do anything I want with it. So if you have classes that are recorded in Zoom, you can find them through your Kaltura Media button, which is right here. If I click on that, I should get all the courses, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't. Okay, great, awesome. Everything that's outside of Canvas is working great. So I can embed this video. This is stuff that I've added, but you're going to see stuff that it's linked to your Zoom account. And so I'm just going to use this as an example. And it will show up here. And just make sure that I did everything right. Okay, cool. I'm going to save. And it should show a display of it. If I want to see what students see, I click on student view. Oh, I don't have this published. So let me leave the student view. Let me go back to this. I'm going to publish it right here. And now as a student, I should be able to see it. All right, there we go. My favorite movies. I just watched that yesterday, actually. All right, leave student view. Let me go back to my modules. And so that's how you can add a link. You can add some content here, and you can add a page that has either of these two in it. So this is a great way to add content. Let me show you what you were asking about earlier, which is how to use, I think it was an LTI. If I want to add an assignment, which is what I want students to give me some material. I don't want them just to read and digest material. I want them to actually give me something. You're going to have to add an interactive element, which is going to be either an assignment in Canvas, or it's going to be a discussion or a quiz. Those are the three interactive objects that you can add in here. So you can add them here through the assignments page or the discussion or quizzes here, of course. I can go up to the top here and add an assignment, and it's already on here. I'm going to create a new assignment, and I'm going to go ahead and give this assignment as a week 1. Week 1 final project. And add this item that just creates a page for it that I can now go to. I'm going to click on it. All right, and on this base page where nothing's been added, it's all fresh, I'm going to click edit. And again, you're going to see your rich content editor, the RCE, and you're going to see more options at the bottom. So you're going to see these more options are going to be what you see for every single interactive element. It wants to know how you want the student to interact with your material. So we want students to give us something like a paper or something. So I'm going to put some instructions here. Make sure to add something like the date that's due. Even though you're going to actually set those dates down here, make sure you communicate that to them with this zone here, and also let them know expectations. And of course, any other, sources that the source or prompts, let's say prompts. Okay, I like this here. That's fine. We're going to make this for points. I'm going to put this in a group of assignments. I'm not going to go over this too much in detail, but basically, if you have different interactions graded differently, you want to put this into the folder that you want it to be graded as. That's what this little box is. So for assignments, I'm going to assign them, put all assignments as like graded as 30% or something. So I want to make sure it's in that folder. Okay, points, that's fine. I don't mind it being displayed as points. Submission type is going to be online. This is where you start putting how you want them to give you that feedback. So I want it to be either a text entry or I want them to upload something. This is the common method here, file uploads. And I will restrict uploads to something like, I already have a list down here of PDF, doc, or some more rich text XDoc. Okay. If you want to add other things, though, if you want students to be able to use their phone to record something and directly upload it to them, and you want Canvas to sort of connect with them, they could use their app or they could use their laptop camera. You can click on media recordings. If you want them to be able to use a Prezi presentation, make sure to check this on so they can link to the actual website that's giving the presentation. And then if you just want them to get edit something like a text entry, which just basically gives them the rich text editor. You just want them to type something in that. That's also really easy to use here. Okay. All right. Unlimited attempts. I like to give it, I like at least 2, because then when you give feedback, you can give them a second chance, and that's not locked down. Plagiarism review is where you're going to use that Turnitin LTI. This is the one I was talking about here. So if you enable this, you see it changes this screen and it starts connecting with Turnitin, and you can start playing around with the features here. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to go into this, but I normally just bypass this. So I just wanted to show you where that button is here. Okay. I'm not going to show the report immediately. I'm going to show it after the due date. I don't have any groups, so I'm not going to get involved in this. I normally would wait a little bit, but let me actually show. Yes, you can do MP4s or movies. You would just change this list here to show that. So let me add .mp4 and move, right? So those are options here as well. My thinking was this was going to be a paper, right? So I didn't think, oh, they could record like a video submission or something, but you could do that as well. Or here's another thing, just don't restrict the upload types. If you're going to give them free reign to be able to submit to you anything, you're going to just unclick that restriction and they can give you an MP4, they could give you a audio file, or an actual PDF. Okay, So that might be the best option. It's just about how many different kinds of files you want. And if you're comfortable with that, or if you have TAs that can manage that, then you're fine. Okay, so I went through all that stuff, grading. Okay, here, this last box is the most important box, I think, is where you do your assignment dates. So I'm going to set a due date for, let's say this is something for next week. I'm going to say the due date is the 17th of next week. And I'm going to make them available, which means they can see this actual thing, or they can interact with the prompt. Let's say they're only going to have one day. So you can see, no, we'll start on Wednesday. And of course, the due date will, I mean, the time they can not interact with this object, I'm going to say is the due date as well. And I could get very granular with this, 12 p.m. Let me see if I want to change this time. We'll say the class starts at 11 a.m. And that's when they will get access to it. And they will not have access to it, on the same day. All right. And you can do more than one assignment date. So say you can want to have everybody here, but you want somebody else is going to be, or you have a different set of students that are going to be taking this course at a different time. You can add more assignment dates and lock that down. So say I have everyone here, but Michael has talked to me and says, oh, I can't do this until next week. And I can go up here and find Michael Miller. So, oh, he's not as a student. So I think I need to put, actually, I think I put myself. There we go. I have a student here myself, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to give you the option to be able to, this will be due for you on the Monday of next week. So you have just an extra day to do it. And we're going to give you the option to see it from the 15th to that day. Okay. And when I do this, I create a whitelist for an individual. It changes that everyone else, all class students to everyone else. So this is how you do a whitelisting, is something you're able to do in Moodle. All right. And I could keep going down this list and adding more and more. Okay. Is this similar to grant an extension feature on this? I'm not sure how this was done CCLE. I just know when I was trying to figure this process out, it was something from CCLE that an instructor was trying to do. And that's why I added this into this part of the training, to show you how to create, like,
yeah, Sabrina, I think that is similar, because what you're doing is you're making an exception for certain people or groups of people, right? So maybe somebody's having surgery next week and they're going to miss the midterm. So you just want to give them an extra week and a half to, do the work or something like that. Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. I just didn't know what the name of it was in CCLE. So yeah, this is it. Okay. So I'm going to save this, and I'm actually going to publish this. Remember, anything that's, unlock date cannot be after the lock date. I think it's, I messed up with the timing here. I'm just going to remove my whitelist. Save and publish. That should be good. Yeah. I made sure those were the right ones. Okay. And now if I want to see this as a student, because I published it, I'll be able to go into here. Oh, it's locked. That's right. All right. Let me leave the student and reset that to now. I'm just going to change that student, the date, so that it's available the entire time. Don't do this to me. Assignments. I believe it was, no, assignments. Here we go. Final project. Okay, let me go to edit. Oh, I'm having the worst luck right now with my browser. It's just blank. Again, it's not something to do with my pop-up, is it, Gail? Modules.
I don't see a pop-up indicator.
Yeah, it's just completely blank. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. Never had this issue before.
While you're doing that, I did want to call
ahead.
out, I think Raymond had a question in regards to different assignments to different students. For the groups, can you send different assignments to different students if they are formed in groups? And secondly, can other students see content from different groups? So as you're kind of walking through an assignments tab as it works, there should be a section for you to call out to whom you want to send the assignment.
So, a different browser.
And you can create groups. Yes, there's a section for creating groups. I believe it's in people, and you would set up maybe a discussion group A, discussion group B, and then they would show up in the list of groups you could sort of assign, when you assign assignments, you could specifically assign them to groups. And then as far as, can other students see content from a different group? I don't think so. You'd have to be in that group in order to see the content. But I think there are some sort of security measures there in place, the checkboxes.
You share, we're going to go here. It is something to do with my browser. Okay, I'm now showing Edge. I'm going to have to open up a ticket on that. That's so bad right now. Okay, so I'm in Edge now. I'm also under a different account, my main account. Let's see, I'm going to wonder if this is the problem that was turning it in or something that wasn't, because I haven't enabled it to work with my account. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this real quick. Get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of all these dates too, because I just want it to be available for all time. I want it available at any time in the class. Save and publish. Continue. Oh, all students. I need to add.
There we go. And that's what we were sort of.
And that's what I was
alluding
just
to.
pointing. Yeah, Chris, can you go back to that? Sorry.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. What was it that you want to show?
Well, Raymond asked about assigning assignments to different groups.
To groups. Oh,
so
you're talking about these, like here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you create a group called section 1A, section 3A, 2A, or if they were automatically created for you, you could then assign this assignment to a specific group. And this is where you would do it.
And let me save this and show you where you can create those groups. So on your left side here, under, I believe it's people. So people.
It got moved all the way to the bottom.
Here, the bottom here, people. You can start creating groups and add students to those groups. That's how we do that here. So he created, this is Michael created this free jazz discussion group, group A. These are just things that we're adding just to see what we could do. We added different students to these different groups. And then, when you're in an assignment, you can then, lock that down and give that to specific people. Or, maybe you just tell the students, hey, I want you to group up and give me a name of your group and I'll add that in. And that's how I do my class.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no problem.
Raymond, that's I think that answers your question, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to show you what it looks like for the student. So save, it's for everybody. And I'm going to go to student view now. It's published and should be able to be viewable. Okay, so this is what they see when they look at an assignment. So you see they get an upload button. And remember, I turned off all restrictions on uploads. So they could either drag stuff into here. I also, since I took off restrictions, I can connect with my webcam, or if I could just click this upload button, because everything in Canvas is accessible. If you have a drag and drop option, you will have a click option. And there we go. So then I can add whatever I want here. So I'm gonna add this, MVP script. They'll be able to see a progress bar here in the bottom. And then when we get that little check mark, it means it's ready to go and I can submit this assignment. And once they do that, when you are in your dashboard, you will see a little badge pop up with a number that says this week 1 final project has a submission. So if I leave student view, if I go to, as an instructor, I go back to my dashboard. Oh, I'm not the instructor for this course. That's why you don't see anything here. You're gonna see a little badge. I think you saw it earlier before, which shows, hey, there's something to grade for that class. It's gonna take too much time for me to go into the instructor course. Got to go to LastPass and find it. So I'm just gonna expect you to remember. There was a little badge up here. Plus, we're at the end of the hour. Those are the 3 things I really wanted to get you through. I just wanted to get you how to add stuff. There's so much more stuff to do in Canvas. But those are just the base things to get you up and running. So I'm going to spend the rest of this hour, 20 minutes going after the hour, just to answer your questions. So let me go to, I believe it's.
So Chris, Ellen's asking a question, and I'm actually not sure. Maybe Don or Gayle know about this. Can instructors access COVID survey results for their students?
And not currently. That is a great feature. Let me
that would be good.
Let our technical team know about that request. I know that the Bruin Learn the daily symptom monitoring survey is available. If you click on that help tab, it will pull out so you can ask students to fill out the survey there, but I will float that to the technical team.
And by the
and
way,
I should
there's
note that
the little badge I was talking about was right here, little grape one. There's the little link. So
yeah,
I'm back
Chris, and
in
I
my
just want to note that all the
normal thing.
just point out the help resources there.
Here. So yeah, in the bottom left
24/7.
here, Gail's talking about this help link down here. And yeah, click on this for all the resources we're talking about. Okay, let me go back. Let me go to the bottom. Let's see, where are we at? When creating assignments, is there a checkbox to enable the feature turn in? Yes, you got that. Cool. CCLE is able to link 2 or more courses. We got that, or at least we're answering that. On the syllabus page, does the system automatically put the grade breakdown on the right? If not, how does that feature work? So that will actually be seen whenever you're looking at grades. So if I go to that class, go to course, I go to music appreciation. When I look at grading, that will show everything on the right here. Oh my God. Sorry. This browser is killing me. Sorry about that. Let me go to music appreciation syllabus. Yeah, this is, I mean, look at student view when they look at syllabus. Yeah, this is always going to show up on the right here. And again, remember I was telling you a little bit about this, assignment groups. I was assigning like assignments as 30%. You can change these numbers by going over to the assignments bar here. Let me leave student view. And the first page on this is going to have a group section. Okay, let me collapse it so you can see all of that. Here's where you can add these change these breakdowns. Okay, and the easiest way though is to go up to the top right here, this ellipsis button, and just go to assignment group weights, and you can start adding them in here. So it's very easy, just to tally it and add 100%. Okay. All right, let me take a look at some other questions in here. Anything else that you're working on, Michael, Gail?
Oh, yes, we've got a great question in regards to the media library.
Yeah.
So Professor Ravetto's question, how will we link to media library that will stream films for class?
Now, is this through Kaltura? There's a couple different ways you could do it, right? You're talking about media library in Kaltura, right, Gail?
Yeah, correct. So let's go ahead and you can authenticate the media library, which links to the, yeah, let's show different ways to get to that feature. There's the media library on the left, which will link to your Kaltura account, and it should appear. Do notice that as you add sort of external applications on the left, this account necessarily isn't showing it.
Let me see if I can find it here. Go ahead.
There will be a way for you to go ahead. So for example, we're streaming a Zoom session, and if you authenticate your account into, yeah, there we go. And Chris is showing a great way that you can really control the course navigation for students. Is sort of, you can see that menu gets bloated. And what he did was went ahead and enabled that.
So just go to your settings. And if you go to navigation under settings, you'll see all the different tools you have access to. And this used to be really small. And since the beginning of this year, this is blown up as far as stuff that you can add, LTIs that can be added. You can see down here, now we have McGraw-Hill Connect. It's just going to grow and grow. So Media Gallery was one of the things that was just hidden by default. If I want to add it to my menu, I just drag it into here, and then I just make sure I hit save. If there was anything, especially like multi-tool or tools that you see other people use in their courses that you don't have access to, you could find it there under navigation. Okay. Now that I've added it here, if I go to, so it should be up here now as.
It's the 5th link down.
Is up here. Here, yeah. Media Gallery. There we go. This is what Gail was talking about. Click on this. Oh, my browser. Sorry, my browser is just not.
It would access your library of media files essentially, and then there's ways in Pages, Chris, that you could embed like a video or link to a video, and then students could watch that video. And then I think one thing you had asked earlier about limitations in terms of storage. There is, I think they're limited to like 5,000 megabytes, which is like 5 gigs. But any of the videos or anything you store inside of your media library do not count towards that quota. So which is why I think when Chris said you would allow students to do a free-for-all uploading whatever they wanted, that's why you would probably restrict certain things just to limit them uploading files, because that will count towards your quota. And of course, if you ever have problems, like I understand you're in the film department, right? So you probably deal with a lot of like large media files. They would probably make it a special exception for you to maybe increase your quota or something like that. But yeah, so Chris, and then there is a course that one of our instructional designers does, and it just focuses on videos and
oh yeah, so that's a good time for you to show you where you're going to actually see the recording for this video, and I'll stop it after I show that link. Let me jump back to the other browser. I'm going to share here because I know that works. All right, I'm going to go to, actually let me go through the help button, go to Bruin Learning Resources. So this recording that we do today, I'll show you where that is and also show you where to find that training. So if you go to that same page, so this is that help Bruin Learn Resources, this last box here is where you post everything. You'll see this button here, recorded webinars. That's where you will find today's recording. And you'll also find past recordings that we've done for a bunch of different trainings. Okay, there is a full 1.5 hour Canvas Foundations for Faculty that is recorded here in case you want to ever review this stuff with it where we're training back in fall. But of course, we'll be posting this recording underneath here. Okay, and go back to here.
Go to the office hours, training. Chris.
Well, real quick. So live training, it was the media one, right? I don't know if we have one coming up now, but it's normally in this list as is it called? It's Media and Bruin
Learn. Yes,
yeah, Media
and
and Bruin Learn.
Typically it's offered on Mondays. And it's a great session, and Greg Steinke, as part of the instructional design team, is really great with media and helping and work that. But in addition to other content, because I know being in theater, film, and television, Media Reserves is also an external API, an external tool that is currently being vetted and is in the approval process. So as sort of we go through this third-party approval process, you will find course reserves or media reserves, library reserves available in that menu as they become available. So do know that it has been approved, and now the technical team is just working on getting that final piece added into Bruin Learn.
All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you again, and I'll stay on for a little while. So here, stop recording. There we go.
For those of you